In this lesson, we're going to learn how to edit the drums with some new techniques, and we're going to learn a tool to draw on notes called the brush tool. So you're going to get a track that looks exactly like mine, and you're going to complete the following functions that I show you. So first thing, let's just check out what we're looking at here. We have a very basic drum part. So you can hear the performance isn't perfect, okay? And sometimes when you're performing, things may not be perfect, so we're going to learn how to clean this up, and I'm going to show you some new shortcuts and some ways to make it more fun and make it faster to get to the drum sounds that you would end up being happy with. So let's try this. First thing I'm going to show you is the kick drum part. It's basically 4 notes you can see, and then it basically repeats. So you have 2 regions, okay? You have region 1 and region 2. So sometimes it's useful to join those together so that when you go down to the MIDI editor and you want to quantize notes or do some of the various functions I'm going to show you, you can treat them all as one region and not have to repeat steps. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So first thing is, you're going to select region 1, and then when you want to select region 2, what you have to do to select them together is hold down Shift. Very useful function. So anytime you want to select multiple regions in Logic, you just hold down Shift and keep clicking away. So let's select these 2, just on the kick drum track. Okay, and we're going to hit APPLE+J or Command-J, and there they are. Okay, let's go down to the snare drum and let's do the same thing. Hit Shift, hold down Shift, and click 3 and 4, and we're going to hit APPLE+J and join those together. Click number 5, hold down Shift, click number 6. Now we have 3 regions instead of 6. Okay, so that's going to speed things up. Now another useful tip, relabeling your regions, something that makes them more helpful, is a good idea. And so we're going to I'm going to show you a trick. Shift N for new, and we're going to I'm going to just type in kick. Okay, Shift N, relabel this region. We're going to type in snare, and then Shift N, and then we're going to type in hi-hat. Great. So the first 2 things you're going to do is join the regions together by selecting them both using Shift, hitting APPLE+J, joining. Do that on all 3, and then the next thing you're going to do is relabel the regions, something descriptive. We're going to call them kick, snare, and hi-hat. The nice thing about that is wherever you look in your project, if you look here or you look over to the tracks, you're going to quickly be able to see what parts you're looking at. It really helps you be able to compose faster and be able to edit your songs faster by just taking a second and labeling them. Okay. Another thing you're going to do is you're going to color code them all the same. So if you hit Option+C, you get the color wheel, and I'm going to choose blue. Okay. And so pick a color and color code your drums all the same. All right. Now, when we click on the kick drum, you're going to notice that when we go down to the MIDI editor down here, you're going to notice that I didn't play perfectly. Okay, some of them are ahead, some are behind. You're going to notice that some of them are different lengths. Okay, so we're going to make these all uniform. I'm going to show you some tricks, okay? So we're going to just start with editing the kick drum part. Get rid of the color wheel here. Okay, now, first thing is, I'm going to want to quantize all of these. Okay, so I'm going to click down here so that it's activated. I'm going to hit APPLE+A, select all the notes, and I'm going to look over where my quantizing resolution is set, and it's set to 16th note. Really, I can change this for this part. I could change this to quarter note or half note because they're really just playing once every 2 beats. Okay, so, but for now, let's keep it on 16th note. Okay. And you can see that the note's just quantized. I'll undo that APPLE+Z so you can see that again. You can just hit the Q and they'll quantize, okay? Now, we have perfectly quantized bass drum notes, but I want you to make them all as short as possible. Basically, we're looking at 16th notes here. 1 E and 2 E and okay? There's 4 per grid line here. Okay? Now, so what I want you to do is I want you to turn these all into 16th notes. Make sure they're all selected. If you hit Shift-Option, they will all move to be the exact same length. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. And you're basically going to shrink them down until they are 16th notes. Okay? And this one didn't go for some reason. Let's just grab that. Okay? So that's how I'll undo that so you can see that again. Okay? I hit Shift Option, and Option usually means to all. That's kind of like, so Option and Shift is going to make them all the same length like that. And it did that again. All right. So let's take a look. Yep. And so we have all bass drums. Now, the reason I like them short is because basically when you, the way drums specifically work, when you press a key or you have a note here, it's basically triggering the sound of that sample. A sample is that bass drum sound. And it's going to play the full sample no matter how short this is. The reason that these are nice when they're short is that it allows me to draw in more notes if I want to. And as opposed to if I had a longer note here, then I couldn't draw things in on top of that. So I'm going to undo that and get back to where I was. Okay. All right, good. So that's a good habit. I get in the habit of shrinking your drums down to 16th notes like that. Let's try the same thing here. So we're going to go down here. Oh, there's an extra note there. All right. So I'm going to select all. I'm going to quantize to the 16th note. You're going to see them all shift. Now I would like to make them all the same length. I hit Shift Option. And I pull these back all the way to the 16th note. Okay, there's an extra note here I'll get rid of. Okay. Good. So we cleaned up our snare and our hi-hat part. Now, let's try this part. We're going to select all the hi-hat notes, APPLE+A, and we're going to quantize those to the 16th note. And we're going to turn these. These ones are actually going to make a little bit bigger. So we're going to turn those into 16th notes. That's it. Good. So now let's listen to our drum part and see how it sounds. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfectly quantized. It looks good. It didn't take me long to do, especially when you do this a few times. It's a good habit to get in. To follow in this process. So again, the reason we make them short is anytime if I want to take my kick drum and draw on some notes, it's really easy at this point to draw those in, okay? Those are all really good habits to get in. Now, we are going to go to the hi-hat part, and I'm going to show you a really fun tool to use called the brush tool, okay? So if you go to this secondary tool right here, you'll see the reason it draws in notes when I hold down the Apple key is because when you hold down the Apple key, it's going to do whatever is in this second tool, whatever's selected for the second tool. Right now I have a pencil, so when I hit Apple, it's letting me draw on notes. Okay, we can change that secondary tool to something called the brush tool. Okay. And the brush tool basically allows you to, when you hit that Apple key, you can see it turns into a brush. It allows you to draw notes in just like that. So you can go very fast if you want to and draw in a cluster of notes. Now, on a hi-hat part, it's a really common thing to hear a burst of notes, different subdivisions. Right now, we're actually playing eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I draw in extra hi-hats, I'm going to delete a few of these. I'm going to draw in a few here. You're gonna see that we get 16th notes. Pretty cool. Okay. So I'm going to undo that. What if we want to draw in faster notes? What we do is we go to change our quantizing subdivision to 30-second notes. Okay, so I'm going to delete these 4 here, and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to draw in some 30 seconds. So what I want you to do is delete a few notes and hold down the Apple key. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to undo those because I'm going to get back to my original file. Now, let's hear what 64th sound like. Those are the really glitchy, fast ones you're used to hearing. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but that's okay. Okay, 64th notes. So I'm going to eliminate a few here. In fact, I'm just going to eliminate one, and I'm going to draw in some 64th notes. Pretty cool sound, right? So take this hi-hat part, practice drawing in 30-second notes in a few spots so you get the feel of what that sounds like. And you can draw in a few 16th notes. Hold down Apple. And draw in some 64th notes, the really, really fast ones. There we go. Okay. Great. So follow the instructions, go slowly, and remember, these are all things you're going to want to do. You're going to want to use all these shortcuts and all these tricks on pretty much any time you're working with drums. It'll help your drum tracks look clean and neat and help you work faster when you're flying around different parts of your song. You're going to be able to see more clearly where you are and what you're working with. And when somebody else wants to work on your project, if you hand this off to somebody else to mix, they're going to be able to see really quickly what's going on. Okay, the brush tool is really useful, especially on drums, but you can use it on other instruments, obviously, as well. Okay, nice job, and turn that into something that looks just like mine.